everyone just loved the light-skinned boys with the, you know, like green eyes, whatever. I'm not saying they're ugly or whatever, but I'm just saying it was so like they were like the beauty standard that anyone furthest from that is just your butt ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like the whole like African booty scratcher, if you're immigrant, if you're African, it's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Firsties. I'm your host, Mila.
And I'm your host, Mella.
If you're new here, if you're firsty,
we're basically a safe space for first gens who dare to dream.
We like to laugh, kiki, argue.
Basically, two baddies with a mic.
Melly, I will never call you a liar because I see no lies.
You see the mics.
You see the mics and you see the baddies.
Literally, so we can't. We're always telling the truth.
Right. So this episode, we're going to get straight into it because it's a little bit more of a serious episode.
Yeah.
We're getting more vulnerable.
Yeah, we're getting vulnerable. We're getting real.
Yeah.
Getting serious.
Yeah. So we were randomly hanging out the other day and, well, not randomly, but we were hanging out and we realized that we actually had a shared kind of common experience throughout our entire lives. And I'm sure you could agree. I thought I was the only one who was experiencing this low key.
Yeah.
Because it's very specific.
I was surprised when... Let me just tell y'all.
Yeah. I'll let you share your...
Yeah, we were just talking and we... I just randomly was like, oh, a lot of people don't think I'm Ethiopian because I don't look Ethiopian. And Milo was like, oh my God, me too. So first of all, I was surprised that people thought you didn't look Ethiopian.
But
when you told me, now I got it.
Because you're Ethiopian, you know better.
No, but but still though. But like when you told me, then I could see it.
Okay.
But yeah, we're just like, oh yeah, like we both don't look Ethiopian because we don't look like the standard Abasha girl. Do you know what I mean? Like,
which at this point, I don't know what that means.
Exactly, me either. And it's like I don't know what, like, maybe is it a feature thing? I don't know, honestly. But
where should we start,
basic, you know, like when you think of Abasha, it's like light skin, curly hair, So
okay,
that's
struggle,
that's like the standard, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Where should we start, Millie? At this point, it's just like,
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, to get started.
We didn't get to topic. We didn't tell them what the topic was about.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Jump in. Look at us. I'm already like, let's get into it. But go ahead.
Right. But yeah, so we were like, oh, it's because like the advertised topic is like light skin, curly hair, So kind of discrediting, like, you know, other features, other like dark skin Ethiopians, especially dark skin Ethiopians, which is like more than half of Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're like, shit, that's a crazy, like, that's colorism.
Yeah.
But we're like, let's get into colorism. Let's start talking and kind of like have like awareness, kind of like spread awareness about, like, you know, Ethiopians and how diverse we actually really are.
Yeah. I could have not said it
the diverse
better. And honestly, we're going to take you guys on our journey with colorism, skin tone, the spectrums of people who come from our country, as well as tokenism, which is a whole other thing, because we both are first gen in the sense of first generation, like graduates and stuff. And sometimes it's like we'll talk about in this episode of just like being the only brown or black person in the face in a white space and what that does to you. I'd like to start from not my earliest memory, but like, again, for context, like I grew up where it wasn't a million Habesha people. Every Habesha person around me, I was most likely related to them. Okay. But then at school, it was like, it was kind of diverse, but it was predominantly white people.
Okay.
And what's crazy with this growth is you don't actually realize it's happening until years when you're out of it.
When you look back,
Right?
Yeah.
And how much of just because I didn't know better, but how much I allowed stuff to be said or certain backhanded compliments, which we'll talk about.
Don't get me started with the backhanded compliments.
And how, like, I ick myself out. And again, I have to be kinder to myself, and anyone who's listening to this, like, be kind to yourself, because at the time, like, oh my God, I was like, I thought I was eating. I'm like, no, girl, that was not a compliment. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you didn't know.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know any better, and I know better now. But like, just to start, I've talked to Ruth about this on this couch. Like the exotic comment, the like, me and you can really talk about, and I want you to share your experience too. Of like, you tell someone that you're Ethiopian, and they're like, you gotta be mixed with something. It's like,
or like even coming up to you, they're like, where are you from? What you mixed with? I'm gonna let the silence
like, exit left.
Literally.
But until I knew better, like I was just like, oh, like come on, honey, like self-love journey on a bow wow. You know what I mean?
No, it's not even like, I don't think it's even like a.
What do you think it is?
It's a self-love journey because we were all here like 2016, 2014 when the light skin, green eyes were dominating the United States of America.
Talk about it.
It was worse than the pandemic because everyone just loved the light skinned boys with the, you know, like green eyes, whatever. I'm not saying they're ugly or whatever, but I'm just saying it was so like they were like the beauty standard that anyone furthest from that is just your butt ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like the whole like African booty scratcher, if you're immigrant, if you're African, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's much worse. So, like, seeing that, like, when everyone's thinking that around you, do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be like, oh, like, it's okay for colorism to happen then, but I'm just saying, like, that's why you couldn't learn. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Even myself, like, I participated in it because I didn't know any better, but I'm like, oh, my God. Not that if I could do it again, I would be combative, but I would have let them know like that's not okay and you might not mean it this way because some people it was not ill intent, it's just ignorance really, like they were not educated. But like girl, I could tell you stories. I'm like it wasn't even 10 years out of it. Like I'm 28 now, 18 is when some of it happened, or in high school and stuff like that. I'm just like, girl,
and even like growing up, like have your parents told you like to come back inside so you don't get darker?
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
let's talk in the culture too.
Yes, like the culture, like the Abisha culture. I don't want to like. It is actually. I'm not even gonna. I was gonna be like, I don't want to blame it, but they literally, it's just like the light skinned girl, like even the konjok ayualij, like the light skinned girl. You know what I mean? Like they don't want. They used to be like, if you're playing outside in the sun for too long, get your ass inside.
Yeah,
because you're not blah blah blah.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Which is. I grew up that way.
Yeah, like
as well.
every Abisha that I know, their parents like told them to go back inside the house because it's like, you know,
like lathering up with sunscreen, which is just so funny because if you knew that like sunscreen, it just prevents from sunburn. It's not. You're still gonna get darker. You're still, and it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Like,
and one thing that I didn't know like was backhanded. I guess they used to always call me like yetukul konjo. Yeah, the konjo means like you're. It's basically like you're dark skin, but you're pretty. Like you're pretty for a dark skin, basically.
The whatever compliment for blank, wrap it up.
Exactly, and in like Ethiopia, that was the banger one. Basically, it's like the konjo man, like she's so pretty, but it's basically you're so pretty for a dark skin. So I'm just like I'm a little girl, so like I didn't really realize. I guess and I lived in Ethiopia, so. For me, I feel like I was much more like fortunate where I didn't have situations where like I actually experienced colorism like firsthand. But like looking back, like you said, it's also like for me like looking back, I was like, oh, that was colorism. You didn't think I was pretty. You thought I was pretty for a dark skin, and that's not a fucking compliment. Do you know what I mean?
Let's get into it. Do you think for you it was? Do you think it's more hurtful for the colorism? Or the tokenism or whatever to come from your own peoples, or for it to come from
absolutely
Americans?
It's coming from my own people, because if it's like coming from Americans, like usually like I said, like no one really thinks like I'm Ethiopian, like I look Ethiopian. Of course, like, you know, people, what's it called? What was I going to say? But yeah, people just don't think that I look Ethiopian or whatever. Yeah. But I wouldn't blame the Americans, because what was advertised, it's Ethiopia is the land of light-skinned girls with curly hair and everything. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't expect them to know what it would look like. But for every Abisha person, like an Ethiopian person, your aunt is dark-skinned. Your cousin, your neighbor is dark-skinned. Because even in Abisha, whatever, like majority, like, you know, like how we're so diverse, there's always like dark-skinned people around there. There's Gambella, like literally every shade you can think of. And you're still saying, like, I don't look Ethiopian. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's so, like, are you dumb? Like, it pisses me off even. Like, I'm not even, like, what's it called? I'm not even, like, lenient. Like,
10
girl,
toes.
you know, like, everyone's, like, diverse. Feel me?
Yeah.
But that's why it makes it, like, worse. worse for me.
It's crazy because I would completely agree. It's more hurtful because coming from your own, or not even you might not be related to them, but just like someone who's from your same country, Eritreans, Africans, whatever. Because even like in my family, like I have an auntie who is the fairest skin, fairest skin. And then I have an uncle who is the darkest skin. Exactly. And I think because I just grew up around that, I just didn't, all of it is beautiful to me. So, you know what I mean? But I do, when like hearing your experience too, like I do remember thinking like, oh, at camp, like, cause you just don't know any better. Like, oh, I better get inside because my mom says I have to stay inside because I'm going to get darker. But like what that does to you psychologically almost, like if we really get into it. Literally. And I do feel so, again, be kinder to yourself, but I think I could have done a better job of like educating the ones around. Because again, that also comes from ignorance. Like our family is not bad people, but it's like, hey, no, that's actually like not okay. Because if that was told to my daughter or my nieces and nephews, I would have a problem. I'd be like, wrap it up. What are we doing? Stay out there longer. Go have some fun. You know what I mean? How has like colorism, how has it been like in your high school and your, like in being in America?
Yeah. Honestly, like I said, like I feel like I've been, like I haven't experienced like firsthand, like, you know what I mean? Like colorism, usually it's either racism, just full racism, honestly. But it's like,
that's so true.
I remember having a conversation with my friend and we were talking about like colorism. And I was like, I don't think I've like, you know, like experienced like flat out, blah, blah, blah. Aside from Abishas, I feel like that's when like I've experienced a lot more colorism in my own culture, basically. But she was like, "Oh, girl," because it was like, "Oh, you have curly hair," like, you know, like she just listed out my features that made me like, "Oh, you're spared." In that way, is like, wow, it's like it's either colorism or fetishization. Where like you're, oh, who's this exotic? It's literally hell or hell. That's not a really good choice. Like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what's it called? Yeah, I feel like when I started experiencing colorism after like, I mean, you know about colorism at like what's it called in high school or college.
Really young
but
age, yeah.
I think the one that really just like stood out for me most was I made a TikTok. I don't even know what the TikTok is about, honestly, but it was about me and I think it was just about me just being Abisha or something like that. And I said Abisha in the caption. The people, like our people, basically came for my neck saying like, "You're not Abisha, babe. Wrap it up. Stop claiming us Abishas or whatever."
My God.
And like it went viral, so it was just hella people commenting,
just
like
debating,
thousands of likes with the like saying I'm not Abisha. And I'm like, am I missing something? And then they were like, no, like the term Abisha is exclusive for people like in the Amara region. And did they say Oromo? Probably not, but like the Amara region or like, you know, like the main Ethiopia regions. And I'm like, but I'm from there. So why were you so like quick?
You having to explain is even like honestly ridiculous.
Yeah, bro, I was so mad. I remember like I made a video responding to it, and my video got taken down because like it violated community guidelines.
Said,
I was cussing.
If you book. No.
I was cussing the guy out, so it was like community guidelines. So I had to redo it in like a more respectful manner. I was like,
you said,
literally, I had to collect myself.
Try this again.
Yeah, like the most colorism I've ever experienced is within my community.
That's the real.
It's so insane.
That's the realest of it all.
And it's like our culture is so beautiful. Like even like the Gambella, the like the Hama, like Walaita, like it's so diverse and beautiful. And
so
for
beautiful
you to
and
just
rich.
like just bring it down to just one and just, you know what I mean?
So
like,
beautiful
like,
and rich.
It's so rich. It's so annoying.
Also, like let's talk about how like even in media, the music and everything like that. It's like like girl, when I saw like I think Neo like popped out with Gabrielle Union or I forget who, and she's on this, obviously she's an African American woman, but like she was darker skin. She's not even like dark skin, but she's darker skin. And I was like, okay, like there's, cause I just grew up with my auntie who's a baddie, also my mom who's a baddie, my cousin Naomi, Miriam, whatever. Everyone is beautiful. Like that's how I really had that childhood friend until you do come to it with, you know, like I'll give you an example of, it was high school. I forget it was prom or homecoming. It was one of the two. And, you know, taking pictures with your date. Everybody had dates. I was the only brown black person in the room. And where we were taking photos, the owner of the home, the mom of one of my, I wouldn't even really say friends, but we went to the same high school. She was just like enamored by my complexion and my hair. Okay. This is when I didn't know any better, so I just thought it was all compliments. I'm here to kiki. Yeah. The comment that rubbed me the wrong way, but I'm literally 16. I don't like, this was like homecoming or whatever. She said like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, like Queen of the Nile, is what she said. Okay.
She said, my Nubian princess, come here.
But it was giving that. Like, it actually was. And I, not knowing better, ate that up. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, thank you, whatever. Also, even though I had a little inkling, I'm in a room full of all these people. What am I going to say now and ruin the night? Old are you? You know what I mean? I think 16, 17. Okay. And the only reason why now looking back, I definitely was like, that was inappropriate, was when we were at, like, the dinner, not there when we left to go to dinner, like the limo, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. My date was like, hey, did that make you uncomfortable? Like, was that comment like way too far? Like, so he clocked it. Yeah. He's a white guy. He clocked it. Yeah. And what I was like, no, like, it's fine.
Wait, it's a white woman that's saying Nubian queen?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, you said that was a crucial.
It's on site. Right. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Yeah, because I thought I'm the only brown person in the room.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, it's like that house, like, it was giving, like, they are just not the first people who are for people. I'll just say that, just keep it PC. Okay. So like, I think of comments like that when I was like putting together this episode, like we were putting together this episode, I'm like, that's what I mean is like, sometimes I allowed just ridiculous stuff to happen. Yeah. And I didn't realize, and by the way, this is stuff that we clocked, Mella. There's racism happening to us, colorism, sexism that we can't even clock. We're like, oh, that's, you know what I mean? Because we're not on that mind frame of like,
literally,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
But it's just, I feel like I was very naive, like when I was like little, basically. Like I just didn't like, you know, when you're just like aren't like really like socially aware.
Yeah,
I was like that, so I feel like that spared me from like a lot of like, if I was like clocking shit like this, I feel like it would change how I would see myself. And I like, that was God's protection. Deadass, I was so insanely naive and like just literally in my own world, in my own head. It was so insane. Yeah. But I feel like that was God's protection, because like this is just like really like a lot more, what's it called? It's like, it's gonna stick with you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that
happened 10 years ago, and that comment will stay with me.
But like the fetishization,
it's real.
It's just so insane. And I feel like it's so frustrating now, like even like in 2024, it's still the same thing. Like now I can't really rewatch like any of the shows, like especially Martin. I can't rewatch Martin because, like, now I know how, like, Pam is really depicted in that whole show. And I'm just like, it's for every damn show, even Love Island. Yeah. They try to give Serena the angry black woman category. But it's like, it's always like that. Or even, like, with makeup. Like, do you know Gloria on TikTok?
Let's talk about it. This is timely, so let's talk about it.
Down, like,
have you seen the comments where it's like, I know a brand hates for you to be coming,
bro? But if that's she has 0 fans, I'm dead. Like, I love her so much, because you know, like how some people like once like you're famous or whatever, they always switch up, like especially with like brands and shit like that. Her whole purpose is like, one, as a makeup brand, if you're like talking about inclusive whatever, there's just no way you can't have a darkest shade in 2024. Let's really be so for real.
Yeah, let's be real. Yeah.
And don't even get me started with what's the brand?
Which one?
The one that was like literally just like black ink, like ink
for
the darkest shade.
Oh my God, I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about. I have to remember
so I can dish you actually.
Like I don't remember. What was it? What was the fucking brand? I'll try to put it. We'll try to put it in post.
You're forgettable. But
give them the context on what that brand is.
So basically, their darkest shade. It's gonna kill me. But their darkest shade on their like foundation line was basically like black ink.
Like literally, yeah.
Like literally black ink, and she like put it on, and she's like, "There's just no way. This is not a regular like. That's not a human's like skin tone. Even the darkest person isn't like that tone. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, she called them out. And then is that how she went viral? Because I didn't know her until that.
That's how I got rid of her. And now she's going viral for Road Blush right now, which is eating.
Oh yeah, it's ashy or something. Yeah, I didn't see that video, but every time, like, all her videos is basically her trying the darkest shade of every makeup brand and just like, babes, like, let's get it.
Especially if they are promoting it as being inclusive and stuff.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, love her down. I wish her nothing but the best. But the brands, it's so insane. Like, this is just such a in 2024, literally damn near 2025, we should not be talking about inclusivity. Like, let's be even
specifically with that influencer too. It's like I look at the comments and it's like they're rooting for her and everything like that. And we all are, but I hate that it's even that. I want to live in a world where you're not too much rooting for the dark skin girl. It's already should be said that she's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, she is stunning. It's
always like,
it's like, girl, don't worry about. It's like, that's where I think the backhanded comments come. It's like, you're pretty for a black girl. Like, girl, don't worry about them. Like, it's just, I'm like exhausted.
But I feel like it can never get to that point until like, people who benefit from colorism start speaking out on it. Do you know what I mean? Because the same thing about, like, racism or whatever, like, as long as the privileged are keeping quiet about it, because, like, you're privileged. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are getting the benefit of it. Let's say in a room full of whatever, like, you know, dark skins and light skins or whatever, you know you'd be favored because, like, what's it called? Relatively, like, from your, like, surroundings, then they're never, like, going to speak up about it. So you can't really, you know what I mean? Like, and usually, I don't know why. I'm not trying to be like I don't know why. It's like, usually people immediately go, no, I'm just pretty, you're just mad at me. But no, that was actually colorism. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say, like, it was like a light-skinned girl and a dark-skinned girl, and they got discriminated, and, like, you know, the dark skin, because of colorism, their immediate, I'm not generalizing some of the people, which is why we still have colorism to this day. The light-skinned person's like, I'm just pretty, you're just mad because I'm pretty. But that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like,
it's usually,
the root of it, like, just dig deeper. I feel like unless, like, the privileged speak up more and try to, like, call it out, it's not gonna, like,
it's like calling on your allies. Absolutely. Even this, it's like calling out really, like, again, there's like, I just also want to say again, like, there's so many things that we love of our culture, our faith, everything, like, there is. But part of this podcast is also talking about, if we're just talking about we're lit, it's like honestly, that's not why I'm here, and I know that's not why you're here. But at least talking about it first, and honestly calling it out, calling myself out, even when I was younger as well. Like, I honestly could have done better for myself as well, because in certain rooms, because of my complexion, the tokenism thing was a thing. Like, I didn't even know what tokenism was until I got to college, and I probably benefited from it. And that's
texturism. That's like, the one thing. Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
What is that?
It's like with your hair, like your hair type.
Oh,
because my hair is like curly or whatever, you would benefit off of texturism.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, you know what I mean? Like, if there's someone like with 4C hair.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's where like the fetishization and stuff, like, gets in. It's like, oh, like, I literally know the amount, like, the type of people I attract with my hair. Like, if I have straight hair or whatever, then people would just, you know, it depends. If I have my hair out, curly hair, I'm being called a Nubian queen immediately.
It's insane.
Like, you know what
just
I mean?
Just say queen.
My Nubian goddess, blah, 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 blah. Like, what? Like, it's always like, you can tell, but that's like texturism. Like, they favor you because because my hair is curly, I must be from somewhere. Like, or I must be mixed with something.
Yeah.
Like, that used to be like the DMs. So it's always like, what are you mixed with? Or what?
After I literally just said I'm Ethiopian. Period. That's the end. That's the end of it.
I don't even have my flag in my bio. It's not because, like, I'm not claiming Ethiopia or whatever. But I used to get a lot of, like, what you mixed with? Oh, you Ethiopia. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't come at me that way. Just, if I'm attractive, I'm attractive. Just
that's it. I just want to be left alone. That is
literally, honestly, like, the basis is we just want to be left alone. But
so talking about, like, colorism, really quickly, like, what do you get mistaken for? I put that in air quotes for our audio listeners. When you know, hey, where are you from? What is the things that you get? Because again, the way that you were shocked for me, I was shocked for you because I see you from the lens of my childhood, and you look like a lot of my cousins. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Like, so I'm just like, why would
that. Like, I get mistaken for Ghanaian.
Okay.
A lot of people think I'm from like West Africa. That's pretty much it. Sudanese.
But then what do they say that do they ever say like, but you got to be mixed with something?
No, they ask me because they're curious. I'm like,
gotcha.
You know what I mean? Oh, for reference, I'm half Sudanese, guys.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you. Yeah, the Sudanese part, I'm like, I get that because I have my, like, you know.
That's so funny. Like, oh, right, JK.
My bad, guys. But no, sometimes I used to not even, like, tell them that because they're bases of, like, when Abisha people ask me, and I'm like, I'm telling you I'm half Sudanese, they're like, there it is. Like, they're just going to disregard my whole take on colorism. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I used to be, like, Ethiopian because I know, because even, like, I know a lot of people in Ethiopia that look just like we look alike. Do you know what I mean? Because we're Horn of Africa, we all have. Come on, guys.
Come on.
But it pisses me off. And like, one thing that I just thought of.
Yeah.
But, in Ethiopia, so we have a tribe called Gambella. So it's like in the southern parts of Ethiopia, and that's where like mostly like, you know, dark skin, tall, like they look Sudanese. So it's kind of like similar like features. I'd
Which
say.
a lot of Sudanese air trained Ethiopians, it's like they do get
So the
confused,
Gambellas usually look what's it called, Sudanese or Kenyan. And so in Ethiopia, I used to live there for like till I was 13.
That's insane to me. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's like I came here when I was 3, like
13.
You had 10 years on me. Okay,
literally. But what's it called? They used to, the term Gambella was literally an insult.
Really?
They used it as an insult. Like, it's like, if you're black, like, Gambella. And I'm like, when I was a little kid, like, I didn't know. Like, people were getting offended by it. I probably even got offended by it, like, when I was, like, 10 or some shit, because I didn't know better. But
like,
looking back,
do that to you?
It just, like, infuriates me, because I know, and a lot of Gambella people also, they migrate down to Kenya, and I think it's also Sudan. Don't quote me, but I'm just telling you, like, from what I know, like, what I know. But they used to migrate because, like, they're not even welcome in their own country. Like, you're from there, and they're, like, discrediting you being Ethiopian because you don't look like it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know how crazy that is?
Like, when it comes from your own, it's just...
Exactly. And using a whole tribe, a beautiful tribe at that, to as, like, an insult, is so crazy. Like, oh, my God, it's Chinyo. Like, oh, she's black. Like, she's Gambella. And I'm like, now looking back, I wish, like, I knew what I know now
but
and go
you
back.
Were a kid.
So that I could actually just, like,
no.
I don't even know what I would do.
That has nothing to do with you, love. Yeah, that's insane.
That's why I'm so adamant of, like, at least, like, spreading word, especially talking about, like, Gambella, like, specifically, because I feel like they're just so, like, not seen in that thing. And that's why when I say Sudanese, they're like, there it is. That's
but what
why.
Does that even
do you know what I mean?
mean?
But that's not the case. It's the fact that
like you're missing
immediately said, like, I'm not Ethiopian just because I'm dark skinned. But
on the flip side too, like low-key, I've been in some professional settings and stuff where especially when my hair is curly, like I do fit the bill of what a lot of people think is just Ethiopia. And then low-key, it's like, I'm not the spokesperson for Ethiopia. Exactly, do you know what I mean? And Ethiopian people. And I'm like, it's just a spectrum. It's like I have a friend who, like in Brazil, it's from the fairest skin to the darkest skin. Like, do your education. Exactly, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think it's really beautiful. I think the more shades, the better. Low key, honestly.
Always.
But what I want to ask you, like, how has this impacted you when it comes to like dating and guys?
Ooh, this is a good one. I feel like I can tell like their intention more because from being like fetishized, whether it's like texturism or some reason you might find, honestly. Yeah. But like because like I can tell where like your intentions are coming from. Do you know what I mean? It's even just like sexually. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember, I was about to get
you don't have to if you don't want to.
See, I'm afraid he might see this, so I'm not.
Yeah. Girlfriend trying to get us caught up.
There's been times where basically, I'm just going to be as vague as I possibly can.
Yeah.
But there's been times where, you know, like, I'm with a guy, whatever, we, like, you know, like, hang out, go on a date or whatever. And he kind of alludes to the fact, like, oh, like, East Africans, they were right. East Africans got it. Or East Africans are the ones. Ethiopians got it.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And I'm not getting into details.
Yeah. Let's not.
But
sorry, guys, that's an off-camera conversation.
Like, I remember the first time I've had that experience, and he basically just said that, and I'm just like,
You clocked it.
So you're here because I'm Ethiopian.
Yeah.
Or because I'm East African. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so it made me really like make me want to like vet guys even more because which one is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it texturism?
Which one are you?
Is it just sexualizing
like,
me?
there's so many things we have to like try to clock.
Like, it's like, which one is it? But it just makes it like even more like harder.
Because the reason why I asked, because the other day I was getting dinner with a friend, and we were talking about, like, she said something similar that I've said of, she was like ideally she'd want to end up with a Habesha person in a perfect world. That might not happen. It's not, she's not going to marry that person because they're Habesha. But if my kids could be full Habesha, why not? Okay. But she said she's dated basically everyone. She's like, she's similar to me. Like, she's down for someone who, like, are we friends? Do we vibe type of thing? Like, it sounds so cliche, but like the personality of it all. But then I asked her, I was like, okay, is it worse? Is there more red flags? Hold on, let me catch my thoughts. Is it more of a red flag for a guy to be interested in you, being a Black girl and also half Sudanese, half Ethiopian, me Ethiopian, and he's a white guy, or just not Habesha, and he's only dated Habesha girls, like back-to-back Habesha, or you're the first Habesha girl he's ever dated.
Is it for a white man?
Yeah, this is a white man. What? Or a Black guy too, like any Asian, whatever. It actually doesn't matter what he is.
Or like
but,
just non. Like,
but either he has a pattern of this specific girl, or he's never dated Habesha girl. Like we talk about it for an hour at dinner over some drinks, because it's like, actually, yeah.
I'd rather me be your first Habesha girl.
Agreed, but I want you to.
But if I'm like being the first Black girl, actually, yeah, I'd rather be that than you like exclusively date Habeshas or Black girls.
This one is specifically like
if it's Black girls, actually, it's much more
exactly.
Like,
I'm
like,
saying the last three girls he's talked to, dated girlfriends, were Ethiopian. Yes. Like, no, it's just it gives.
Yeah, absolutely not. Because the main reason that you're like, at me is because, and I had another also.
Yeah, we've had.
I'm telling you, like. They were out. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's
and
like
it's
they
hard to
exclusively dated Ethiopian girls.
Yeah,
and, like, the girl the day before me, Habesha. All of them were like, Habesha, and it's like there's a pattern here because clearly you're not.
Yeah,
Habesha.
I guess there's intention. We have to know the intentions behind it. Like, how about if you just happen to really? But no, when I think about it,
because I feel like even
I'm trying to
with
see both.
them,
I'm like, no.
Like usually they're like, oh, like Ethiopians because they're wifey material, or blah 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 blah. Like, I feel like even that, it's like we should also call it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like Ethiopians, date an Ethiopian girl because they do this, they wifey, blah blah blah. You're literally immediately negating everyone that's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't really have to be like colorism flat out just to be like, that's also favoritism, but
it is.
Yeah, like, no. I feel like if you date exclusively Ethiopians, then there's like, I'm just Ethiopian number, I don't know, Habesha girl number 59, just to like, it's like a fetish thing. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's I knew you were going to say that.
And you can't lock in really like in one, like I can't even possibly just like choose like an ethnicity and just be like, just Nigeria.
And this is why I have this conversation too, is because to us, it's really, when it was younger, it was painful. Now it's just confusing also, because I'm like, but how do you not see it from our end? I guess because we're experiencing it, but like when I look at, it's almost like, how can I explain myself? Like when I'm looking at guys and dating them, I'm like, oh, this is a part of you too. Because let's get real. Mm-hmm. I also think it's kind of alarming when a guy's like, I don't see color. No, you should actually see our differences. Yeah. That shouldn't mean we should date or don't. Like, that's nothing like that. But you should definitely acknowledge my culture, where I come from, things like that. I'll do the same for you. Yeah. But it isn't like the biggest thing about me. There's many things about me. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm a fashionista. I'm a podcaster. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a Christian. Like, there's a bunch of things. Yeah. But it being the only thing, like what you mentioned, like Habesha girls blank. Exactly. Yeah, pack it up.
It's just, oh my God.
Pack it up. And this is because we know better, right? Like, we're in our 20s, late 20s. Girl, when I was 18, 19, the things I allowed, I'm like, girl, when she said Queen of the Nile, Nubian Queen, ate that up. I thought I was eating, but what else could I do?
See, yeah, but I'm glad like now you know. It's like a,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
and how
now
hurtful
like,
that is.
We have to like, we can't just know. We have to like call everyone out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like in situations, I get it, because even when I'm in situations, I'm just like, you're so actually like, you know, like
wild, wicked,
insane, like disgusting sometimes, even like why would you even think that, to the point where like I can't even like address it, because you know when like, especially like when you're talking to like older generation, they're not gonna get it, so it's like what the fuck's the point? But no, like we have to address it one way or another, even if
or
it's like
y'all not gonna be around my kids, because
yeah.
I'm not giving that to the next generation.
And it's like, you know how like when we get like, if we get shitty parents or whatever, like you're gonna learn and unlearn that trauma. Just, you're not gonna like heal yourself, but you're gonna be a better parent to another generation. Like you're not gonna get the benefit, but your child would.
Absolutely.
It's the same way with this. Like now that everyone's aware, obviously we can't really like unlearn the trauma that we've had being, you know, like the dark skin one or whatever, but obviously by calling it out and like telling other people, then the future generation. Do you know what I mean?
I remember one of my, shout out to Dr. Ricks. She's one of my mentors in college, where I remember she was like, kind of my mentor in college. And I told her about this, the experience. And she was like, honey, like, you don't even know the worst things said about you are when you're not in the room. And I was like, damn, right.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah. How about like, have opposite people like talked about you or something, like when you're not there? Because that, you did mention that you don't look it too. Do you know what I mean? That's one thing a lot of like dark skin opposites that like I can relate to too. Mm-hmm. They talk about you to your face, and they're like, oh my god, I didn't think you're Ethiopian.
Yeah. And this is where like I low key, like I told her Mella off camera too, that like my biggest regret, and I do just need to work on it, like I can work on it now, is I don't know my native language. Like I can understand it pretty well. I could survive here and there, but like, can I kiki with you? And I'm I can't. And that's like one of my biggest regrets. Because I was at Costco once. To answer your question, yes, it's happened so many times. It's like funny. And the thing is that it always happens when I'm alone. I wish someone was with me. But when people are with me, they're not gonna, because when I'm out, sometimes I am with other Habesha people who might fit the bill, whatever that means. So they're not going to talk.
Yeah.
But I was like at Costco once. I was with my mom. And I will say, like, you know, the Costco run afterwards, you have to get the chicken bake. You have to get the churros. You have to get the smoothie, right? The pizza.
I was going to say a pizza.
Yeah. So my mom did their grocery shopping, and then she was just sitting down. I was getting the food, and there was a long line. But you know how, like, I was on my phone, but, like, I can clock everything even though I'm on my phone. Mm-hmm. And I guess the Habesha people behind me, like, wanted me to be up this person's ass. Like, every time the line moved, like, move closer. So I wasn't moving as fast. Yeah. So on Amaranya, they said, like, look at this American kid, like, spoiled, like, duriye, like, just
going. They didn't spare you. What?
Going in, right? Because they wouldn't have said that if they knew I was,
Oh, for sure.
And so I was like, something you need to know about me is that, like, when it happens to loved ones around me, I'm a completely different person. When it comes at me, when people are like rude to me, I'm not encouraging it, but like I actually laugh, because I'm like, it's almost like I'm hysterically laughing, because I'm almost like, it has to be funny that you're this mean or this cruel. Like, I would never speak about someone like that ever. But anyways, and you know how it sounds more like rough in your language.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and our language is very like,
it's cutthroat.
It's cutthroat. Like, I can't ever curse in a heart. Like, it's so serious. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And so I order my foods, and then when I turn around, because they were like, I had to like go back. They were in my way, so I just said like, oh, excuse me. And then when they moved, I said thank you in our language, and it was like they saw a ghost, right? Because I was like, I'm not gonna. Also, they're older than me. I'm not gonna like go crazy on them. But I wanted to know, like, I clocked you, and like, how dare you, type of thing. Yeah. And then I went and told my mom, and I'm sure my mom is watching this now. She's just the type of mom where she does not let that slide. Yeah. So she's like, which one are they? Which one are they? I was like, Mommy, it's okay, whatever. She's like, no, just tell me which one. And she's this scary, like, kind of mom where it's like, no, like, I just want to go talk to them. Like, no, just
you don't
tell
understand.
Me, just tell
Those
me.
are my favorite type of moms.
Like, no, let me just go talk to them. And then I didn't hear any of it, because if honestly I was getting secondhand embarrassment, which is so dumb, because my mom's just being a mom.
Of course,
Like, now looking back, I'm like, yes, girl, right? Yeah. But all I saw was like this, and like this, and then my mom walked off. I was just like, they're older too. Like they just don't know any. Like one of them had like a nut on, and I'm just like, it's okay, mom. Let's just go.
But it's still like rude.
It's not okay. Actually, you're right. It's rude. Yeah. But have you had any experiences like that?
Where they talk shit about me?
Yeah.
Have they? I think the only time is when they talked about like my hair, but like it's like like in the hair salons, like when you're like kid and you go to get the hair straightened.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like so like her hair is like tangled.
Yeah.
Or her hair is like just like little tiny comments about my hair, because I don't speak Amharic the second I get in, because honestly I'd just rather just not like speak. Like, you know, sometimes like you just want to get your hair done and get out. And I just do that. But that's like real. I just want to just get my hair done and get out. So I used to just like not speak with them.
That's real.
Until I had like a regular, then I spoke in Amharic.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I spoke to them. It was like, oh, the Sunday, like I responded to whatever they were talking about, like, oh, her hair's like in disease, like it's too like tangled or whatever. I was like, oh, is it? Blah, blah, blah. And then they just like changed it. I was like, oh yeah, blah, blah. And then they didn't like have any other comments about my hair. But I like clocked it before they even got there. That is real. Because I'm sitting here, you have the straightener. What am I gonna say?
Yeah,
I can't really say much.
Right. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, we are back. That was just a shameless plug. I also actually, Marlene, I didn't even tell you this, but there is a very important independent film that's going to be coming to DC. I've already done an episode that has not come out yet, but please show love. It's called Know Your Place. Please show love. It is about kind of like that first gen experience. It's based out in Seattle. It's an independent film. It's a small film, but it is a very important and impactful film. It's a full Eritrean Ethiopian cast, which is amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So I'm going to drop the episode when the DC screening is, but if you're in the East Coast, they're already having LA showtimes. I'll put all of their links below, but this film really is very important. So show some love, even if that means a follow, like, comment, all that stuff on the Know Your Place film Instagram, which I'll link below. But anyways, and of course follow Firsties Pod and follow Mila Fasaha and Hermela Moses. Thank you.
Also, let me plug my
please.
In.
Yeah.
So my hoodie, it says Adara, if you can't see it.
She's wearing a beautiful hoodie, yes, for the audio
Take
listeners.
Care of Home, and it's a nonprofit organization in Ethiopia, and their main mission is basically building schools and funding school supplies for like kids like in the rural area and stuff. So definitely check it out. Definitely donate.
Looks cute. Looks comfortable.
The more educated you are, the more we don't have to deal with this shit.
Yeah.
Again. So genuinely,
stop hurting people, please.
Take care of home. Love them.
Yeah. Okay. So Firsties Corner. If you want to submit into Firsties Corner, you can submit at firstiespod@gmail.com or info@firstiespod.com. It's literally if you want to kiki, if you want our advice, take it with a grain of salt. We're not professionals.
Also, our Instagram, we usually do like Q&As like weekly.
Yes.
So make sure you like watch our story, and you can always just like swipe up and just like tell your
please, we want your feedback, really.
Yeah, we want to like talk to y'all.
Yeah. Okay, Firsties Corner. The question is, how do you guys deal with being the only Black or brown person in a professional setting? It's a big question.
I think you should start this one.
Oh, okay. Host is gagged. Okay, I'll start. I'm joking. Okay, how do you guys deal with being the only Black or brown person in a professional setting? So I was like, oh, let me reflect on this. Also, very great question. The first thing I want to say, like, I'm honestly giving myself this advice too, because I didn't know how to navigate it, because sometimes you really are the only brown or Black person or both in the room, really. Sometimes the only female in the room too. So many others, like literally, right? It's exhausting. I would say take up space, because I didn't do enough of that when I first started out in my professional settings. I was just meaning like don't minimize yourself. Don't minimize your culture or how rich it is or like how family oriented you are, all these things, because sometimes Americans don't understand that like how close I am with my parents or whatever. That's just our culture, our foods, like
you're
how much we gather.
Regardless,
so like stand on 10 toes on that, because I'm so blessed of our culture and how rich it is and stuff. And sometimes you want to minimize that, and it's like, no, it's not all of me, but it is a part of me. So that's why I say that, like, take up space. Don't minimize your shine. Like God created you how you are with everything. So stand on 10 toes on that.
That's a
Take
good one,
space,
yeah.
literally, yeah. Especially for females too, because
Yeah.
men can. This is their world. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
I don't think have I been because I just graduated, so I'm now only getting into get in the workforce, whatever, professional workspace. But
even if professional could be in your classrooms, like you have to be a little bit professional in school.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's
no,
not
in
just
high school. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I was just thinking of like
work.
Job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like now I'm getting comfortable because before I used to like you said, like I used to just shut up or like maybe like speak to like the ones around me, whatever. But I wasn't really like the one that talks a lot.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I'm getting a little bit better. Like I guess trying to take up space, like Mila said.
Yeah, but really.
But yeah, but before like, especially when I used to take because there's like certain expectations coming. Like you think there's expectations around those people. Do you know what I mean? Like I used to take AP Bio. I feel like that's the
AP Bio brains and beauty. Love it.
Girl, physics beat my ass. But I was taking AP Physics and AP Bio, and I was always the only black girl in both classes in high school. And it's like automatically I was like, they probably think I'm dumb. Like they probably think I'm just not smart or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like you have those like thoughts, so I'm like, I have to prove them wrong too. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna be like too much in my head. I could have just like chilled and listened to the teacher. Maybe I might have gotten an A if I did that. But it's like I have to prove it, and then there's so much going in your head. Like get out your head. Like honestly, they're already gonna see you. Whatever. Like don't fuck up like what's called not even your worth, but don't underestimate yourself or don't care about what they would think.
And by the way, you're also like keeping up while then also doing that. Like there's just so much.
There's too much. Yeah.
Like there's it's like Issa Rae. Who are you rooting for? Anybody black. Like
anybody black.
I'm just being real because that starting line is just different for ever. It just is.
Yeah. Oh my God. Let me tell you like the most embarrassing story in my class.
I love embarrassing stories.
My AP Physics class, my teacher used to just like talk, like ramble, like whatever. Actually, that might be the reason why I failed. Not even a me thing, but I didn't fail. But I'm like bored, so I'm like, I'm trying to like just write, and I'm like, I didn't want to write I'm bored on my thingy, so I wrote I'm bored and I'm hard because I can read and write and I'm hard. Had to clock you with that one.
Dang, I'm such a fraud.
God. Well, what's it called? So I'm just like, I'm writing like I'm bored, blah, 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 like some just like random things on my paper. Yeah. And it was like a homework paper. But I was like, she's never going to read this. Like, what?
Come on.
Tell me why she found another Abisha person in TC, like the school, and made them read it, got the translation, and then underneath it, she wrote, don't worry. What did she say? Like focus more in class, blah, 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 in Amharic to me. And she gave me that paper the next class.
She said, clock it.
She gagged me so hard. You don't get it. Like,
oh, I would move schools.
I didn't even look at like,
not even classes. I would
touch
move
my phone after that.
I would move schools.
Yeah, I was so embarrassed. And you know who
that's
translated
crazy.
For her?
Who?
My friend.
She's an op.
She's such an op. She covered my my name and showed it. And then he was telling me, I was like, wait, you're the girl? Like, she came and asked who's like Ethiopian, and then she made them read.
Okay, I'm sorry. That teacher's kind of a weirdo.
She's a big fat weirdo because you should not take up your time with
I'm
all
not gonna lie. Like, I know we're ending the episode soon, but like there's some teachers who are like they were the bully. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you clocking like
literally? But I'm glad I was like, I told you I'm bored.
Like, at least you didn't say anything crazy. Yeah, I'm bored. Sorry. That's insane.
Focus in class, girl. Pamarinya. Imagine.
That's insane. Clocked it. Whoa.
She gagged me.
That is it for this episode, guys. This was great. I was telling her it's getting scary how quickly we're just getting like these cameras are not here literally because they're dying. Like
no, that's we have to double check and like
literally because we're dying. Just like
kicking the entire time. I love this.
But I really do. Yeah. I swear to God that even this conversation for me, for anyone who's hearing this, I hope it's just like healing. At least knowing that a lot of people. Like, this is a shared experience. Because, when you're going through it, when it just happens to you in a room, in a white space, you're just like, and you don't say anything because it just happened to you. And then also, like, going to my parents and talking about it, they won't understand. They're like, are you getting your grades good? Okay, you don't have to worry about these little friends. Like, what are we doing? Right. So it's like, who do you go to?
Exactly. And we're barely even like scratching the surface, honestly, just like to bring awareness.
Oh yeah.
But please just like try to like educate yourself about like texturism, colorism, everything, and then just, you know, like call people out. Be a firstie, be a first one to call people out.
Clock it.
Clock these
be
people,
a firstie
please, immediately.
Yeah. That is it for this episode, guys. As always, thank you so much for listening, watching, viewing, subscribing.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please. Love you down. Love you down.
Love y'all down.
And then please turn on post notifications to be notified for our newest videos, especially because soon we're going to be doing Firsties Extras, which is basically not the podcast. But if you want to go subscribe to the YouTube, because then we're going to have extra content there, which I'm challenges, just
so excited.
Our lives. Yeah, vlogs, all that stuff. But that is it for this episode, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye, guys.